All right, guys, let's go ahead and break down the last 3 days, this 3-day weekend that we went through. That's why we didn't have a daily market review here for Monday, mainly because it was all treated about the same. So you can see I'm actually sitting here on Tuesday morning. I have all my levels set up, it's marked up for today's price action, and we're kind of watching this to get ahead of it. So you're kind of seeing a little bit, this is what we do every day, right? So you can see here's the key levels for the daily. So if we lose this key level, and I do want to point this out in here in this video, even though we're talking about really the weekend recap, but we're here on Tuesdays, you can see, look at this strong area right here. So you have the daily resistance here, or daily support here, you have the breakdown trigger here, and then you also have your weekly point of control also right here. All is basically sitting at about 108,400, saying if we're going to break up and start to hold, we're definitely going to start getting back up in this area and then start to build above this. And once you get it back above that, that's the last 24 hours that I'm using. And then you can see the last 3 to 7 this morning, and you can see we've lost on this area. Now, if we break up, here's your high of the weekly up here. So expect a lot of go and stop. So we could run up here, stop, trade back down into here, then run up here and stop. If we're going to rebuild, we have to get through these strong levels to show strength. Now, if we lose this, definitely going to drop this. We're going to look for the 105,000 level at that point, just because this is a strong line in the sand for us to hold. You can see we held it all last weekend. So let's jump into that now a little bit. So I'm sitting here on the 30-minute time frame, but I can see into Thursday, into Friday, we ran on down. And then Friday afternoon, we just literally have sat sideways, and we've tested these levels right here. And we're really just kind of been range bound through here. Let me go ahead and remove this and put my weekly on. So when the weekly close happened here on Sunday night, I went ahead and marked up the charts. You can see that we are up here in this level, which is back on that high. We have our breakout trigger. So that's really for the bigger time frames, we need to get back above this, and then we're off the races. But we also have the same levels I was talking about, down in this level. If we lose this, so today could be a break, and then we come back down and test this again. And you can see we tested this multi times over the weekend, Friday into even Sunday, and then again we kind of tested it here on the Monday. On Labor Day, we tested it again, and then we ran on up. But that is a very hard line in the sand. So that's kind of where if we lose this 108,400, we're definitely going to come down and test this 107,200, and then we could easily lose this and break on down. So I will jump over to Bookmap here. You can see Bookmap right now has some strong buying, but you don't see a lot of, just for simplicity, you don't see a lot of this yellow or red above this. So there's not a lot of energy for it to go up. There's not a lot of magnets in the market, a lot of money that it wants to go after. Definitely there's more money down here. And you can see there's a lot of strength down here at that 107,000, which is that weekly area that we were just talking about. And then we also have the 105,000 down here. So we could just come down and test this area, take up this liquidity. We may never see this area. And then we should start seeing some energy start to create up in this upper area. So that's just it's just another indicator in areas for you to help. And that's about it, guys. Yeah, to watch. This is why we mark out to the weekly and take a look at all that for the coming week. And that's why I'm showing it to you now. So we're ready to go after the weekend recap. There wasn't a lot of trades, especially when you have a 3-day weekend coming up. There's a lot. That's a good reason just to stay away from the market, because you got this ups and down chops. And that's about creates confusion and frustration. A lot of times it'll suck you in, like this is reversing, and then it came right back down and took it out, and then it ran up again on you. Creates a lot of frustration on the market. The other thing is if you look at the 15-minute and use your 200 and your 21, you can see that we've been fighting sideways. Now we are starting to get some energy. We're back fighting with it again. Now I'm going to start watching it because we're in actual trading week now. But we can see the whipsaw that we had, and then here we are sitting in the 5-minute, which is the same rules you hear us talk about quite a bit. When you're above it, it's time to go up, and then when you're below it, it's time to go down. So as of right now, you can see we're below that 200 again, and we were below early this morning. We were below the 21, but we're in between it. But once we broke this was bearish. You can see the energy kicked in, but we also landed hard right on the weekly point of control and bounced right back up, which is that key area that we're talking about, the 108,004. That's why this is a key line in the sand right now that we're looking for. And you can see that basically played out through the weekend. Now, this is why I don't trust the weekend a whole lot, because they just have low energy, and that's why it's hard to kind of trade. Now, obviously, that same kind of rule applies, though. When you're below the 200 and the 21, it's more bearish. When you're above it, it's more bullish. But you do want the energy to be in the space. And if the other times everything's lining up, then great. You can go ahead and get a good trade in, but a lot of times you'll see a lot of confliction. So if we actually dug into each of these areas, but for the sake of the video, though, if you wanted to, you could do this. But if you're looking at that 15-minute, even the 1 hour, you would have saw you're possibly under the 200 and the 21, but yet on the 5-minute you're above it. This is why you don't want to just trade that way, because you want things to align up. So if we go out to the 1 hour during that time frame, which is right here. You can see you're below the 200, and the 200 is coming down. So that's definitely pointing down. So that's pointing bearish for this. Is just simple trading concepts. Just and simple does make trading easy. So you can see the rejection here on Thursday, and then we lost it. Right, it came back up and it's rejected, and now we're losing it again here on the 1 hour. So we need to show that this starts to curl and show support underneath, and then same thing, we need to get above it. The higher time frames you are, when the 200 and the 21 you're above or below, the stronger the push in that direction it wants it to go, just like you see here. So that's about it. And right now we're kind of fighting in that zone. The lower time frames are trying to flip it. They're getting above the 200, above the 21. They're starting to work back in that direction, and that's why we have our key levels on here. The weekly will break up, and then of course, using our daily levels every day, this will give us a pretty good indication of where we're going to go. So right now you could say we're just basically range bound. Just because if you're looking at this, we're kind of range bound between the 107,000, 200 range up to that 111,000, 300 if you're looking at the weekly. But if you're just looking at the current price action, we do have a lot more of the range bound, really the 109,500 for easy, and 107,200 is that hard area. So right now we're kind of sitting in this zone where if we start to get above it, we are going to attack these higher levels, and we'll have to watch and see. But that's about it, guys, for the weekend. Not a lot of energy, not a lot going on. I did show you the key levels, so you can go back and pause the video if you wanted to for the weekly levels, which are actually we're looking at right now. So you can pause the video now and kind of look at them. Obviously, the numbers over here match the colors on the chart, so kind of give you an idea. And then, of course, I have the dailies for today on Tuesday morning. So that's about it, guys. Let's go ahead and see how this week pans out and see if we can get some action and puts a little bit of green in the account, and we'll go from there. And we'll see you guys here on the next recap, talking about what happened for this Tuesday. So happy trading, guys. Like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.